So, Reverse Flash. You've heard of him, right? The Flash's greatest enemy, his most popular enemy, and probably his most competent enemy as well. But have you heard about Johnny Quick? I mean, when you hear that name, what do you think about? Because for the longest time, I had no idea of its existence. It wasn't until I played one of the most popular games on this channel, LEGO DC's Supervillains, when I even learned about this guy's existence. Who is Johnny Quick? Well, if you don't know anything about him, today you're going to learn some backstory about him and even some backstory about Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, that you probably didn't know. And the main question, who would win in a battle between the two of them? Eobard Thawne. Wow, I really still can't get over that name. Better known as the Reverse Flash, he originates from the 25th century. He was a brilliant but deeply obsessive scientist who idolized Barry Allen, the Flash. Thawne was so fascinated by the Flash that he devoted his life to learning everything about him, from replicating his powers to collecting Flash memorabilia. Sounds a lot like me. Through his studies, Thawne discovered how to tap into the Speed Force, and created the version of it called the Negative Speed Force, a destructive energy source he could control. His obsession with becoming the Flash eventually twisted into jealousy and hatred when he realized he was destined to be Barry's greatest enemy, not his ally. Thawne traveled back in time and began a lifelong vendetta to destroy Barry Allen's life. His most infamous act was traveling to Barry's childhood and murdering his mother, Nora Allen, framing Barry's father for the crime. This tragedy shaped Barry's life and inadvertently created the very hero Thawne despised. Over time, Thawne became a master of time manipulation, often altering timelines to his advantage. He's fueled by a paradoxical relationship with Barry Allen. He hates the Flash but is also tied to his existence. Without Barry, Thawne ceases to exist, creating a rivalry that spans time and space. Man, imagine not being able to kill your arch nemesis because if you did, you wouldn't exist. I mean, that's crazy. Now anyway, let's get to the lesser known guy of the conversation here, Johnny Quick from the Crime Syndicate. Johnny Quick hails from Earth 3, a parallel universe where good and evil are reversed. In this twisted world, the heroic Justice League we know doesn't exist. Instead, Earth 3 is ruled by the Crime Syndicate, a team of villainous counterparts to the Justice League. Johnny Quick is the evil version of the Flash. His backstory differs depending on the adaptation, but the most consistent element is that he gains his power from a man-made substance known as speed juice. Speed juice. This formula gives him super speed, but is also a crutch. Johnny relies on it to maintain his powers, unlike true speedsters who are connected to the Speed Force. In most versions, Johnny is brash, arrogant, and selfish. He's a thrill seeker who cares little for others and lives life recklessly, often causing destruction for fun or personal gain. As a part of the Crime Syndicate, he works alongside villains like Ultraman, which is basically evil Superman, and Owlman, which is evil Batman. Unlike the Flash, Johnny Quick isn't a hero at heart. He doesn't train or push his limits in the same way Barry Allen does, and his abilities reflect this lack of discipline. While he's fast, his connection to the speed juice formula limits his potential compared to true speedsters like the Flash or Reverse Flash. The key difference between these two is the Reverse Flash, a complex calculated villain who has mastered his powers and uses them with precision, has a connection to the negative speed force that makes him one of the most dangerous speedsters in the DC multiverse, while Johnny Quick, a reckless, formula-reliant speedster who thrives on chaos but lacks the depth, power, and skill of someone like Thawne. It's just not really that close. But, for the sake of the video, we're going to go in to the second episode of Speedster Showdown and really see what would happen if these two had a battle between each other. Okay, so let's talk about some of their power levels and features. Reverse Flash features, well, first of all, outspeeding Barry Allen with the title of the fastest man alive. Okay, so there's a strong start for Reverse Flash, also manipulating time to create entire alternate timelines like Flashpoint. He even killed Barry's mother to ruin his life, which in my opinion is setting a new standard for villainy. And then we have Johnny Quick. Quick reflexes and good in team fights, I guess, like battling Earth 3's heroes or the Justice League, but his most notable victory? Probably stealing candy from a baby. Okay, well, maybe not literally, but you get the idea. Thawne's features are universe-altering. Johnny, not so much. Now let's talk about the Speed Force versus Speed Juice. The Speed Force, the core energy field that powers most DC speedsters. Reverse Flash doesn't just tap into it, he weaponizes it with the negative Speed Force. He has stuff like time travel, phasing through objects, stealing speed from others even. And then we have Speed Juice, which is just a man-made formula that temporarily gives Johnny super speed. He's limited by the effects of the formula, doesn't have access to time travel, phasing, or advanced Speed Force powers. Essentially, Johnny is playing with borrowed time, while Reverse Flash owns the clock. Now for strategy and mentality. Reverse Flash is a master strategist who's been planning his revenge for centuries. He knows how to manipulate his enemies psychologically and physically. Johnny Quick, brash and impulsive, his arrogance often leads to mistakes, and he's not nearly as experienced in combat. A quote that comes somewhere from the DC universe: "You can't outsmart someone who has seen every possible outcome of your decisions before you've even made them." So in conclusion, this is why it's not even close. Johnny Quick is fast, sure, but he's not even in the same league, no pun intended, as Reverse Flash. While Johnny relies on a man-made formula, Dawn's mastery of the negative Speed Force puts him miles ahead, literally and figuratively. Whether it's speed, intelligence, or raw power, Reverse Flash dominates every category in a fight. It would just be over quickly. There really isn't a battle here, but I decided to make a video about it anyway. It'd be over before Johnny Quick even realized it started. Do you agree with this, or do you think Johnny Quick could somehow pull off a miracle? Let me know in the comments. And I don't say this often, but make sure to like the video, not because I want exposure or anything, but because when people like the video, it actually tells me that they like this kind of content. You guys kind of blew up the last Speedster Showdown, so I'm going to continue making them for now. And subscribe if you're wanting to be notified when the next one comes out. I'm not really one to say like, hey, like the video before it's even started. I mean, obviously like if you liked it. That's the whole point. But, if you like it, it gives me an idea of what people are enjoying, and I like to ask it at the end of the video because the people who watch to the end are the people that I want the opinion from in the first place. So, anyway, if you made it this far, type Speed Juice with 2 O's in the comments, just so I know who watched all the way to the end. Well, anyway, stay tuned for the next Speedster Showdown, which will be coming out probably in the next couple of days, and until then, be legendary. Peace out.